What's up, YouTube Revolution? ZombfectedGaming 349 at your fingertips. So today I got a breaking news report about publisher and developer Techland that is in charge of the Dying Light franchise. And it's that Techland has cancelled 2 games they've been working on. This comes from a reputable source by the name of Tom Henderson, which we pretty much all know very well by now in the gaming industry for reputable leaks, and here's what it says. Techland has announced that it has cancelled 2 of its upcoming games amid a poor financial year. Alongside this leak, apparently the fantasy RPG open world game that Techland was busy developing over the past few years during the life cycle of Dying Light 2 Stay Human is the one to be cancelled, and to be honest, I'm not too bothered by this game getting cancelled because I'm actually not a big fan of fantasy games. But to be fair, I did say before I was willing to pick up this game if it was to release because I really enjoy Techland games and I've been enjoying them since Call of Juarez Bound in Blood, which released in 2009. And surprise, this is also not the first time Techland has cancelled a fantasy game. If you all remember the game called Hell Raid, that one was cancelled years ago as well and turned into a game mode for Dying Light 1, which got mixed reviews. Also, the second game that Techland has cancelled is unknown, and all we know is that it was definitely most likely the RPG fantasy game being cancelled, and this makes sense. The reason why I say this makes sense is because I think Techland want to boost their financial earnings, and that can only work better with franchises they are better known for, like the Dying Light franchise, and apparently they needed to do this to make sure a lot of resources go into making Dying Light the Beast really good, which resulted in many delays. I also think Techland just can't afford to make a new franchise IP with the financial earnings underperforming and can only work on an IP they are already known for. Also, rumor has it that Techland cancelled the 2 games to put resources into a new game they are gonna create, and it could be a return to the Call of Juarez franchise, which Techland was well known for before they made the transition to zombie genre related games like Dead Island 1 in 2011 and with 2015's Dying Light and 2022's Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Also, a lot of the Call of Juarez games were never cancelled and made it to 4 games released, so that could mean Techland wanna put the Call of Juarez eggs in their basket and experiment with a new Call of Juarez game like a reboot of the franchise or something like that. Call of Juarez is a western, and Techland really enjoyed a lot of Wild West movies, so which is why they made Call of Juarez in the first place, and with Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption games being so popular and set in an open world Wild West setting, it could draw inspiration for Techland to bring Call of Juarez to an open world first person setting like the Dying Light games. A Call of Juarez as an open world setting could be like the long-awaited Wild West Far Cry game a lot of people wanted, and since this is Techland creating this and not Ubisoft, it could get way more love than a Far Cry game, because in typical Techland fashion since the Dying Light games, they tend to support their games long-term with many years worth of updates, and this could be a step in the right direction. Call of Juarez is also the 3rd most talked about Techland game as well, because right now in first place is Dying Light, and in second place is Dead Island 1 because Dead Island is the reason why the Dying Light games exist, and Dying Light is a spiritual successor to Dead Island 1. Also, to back this up that Techland could be bringing back Call of Juarez is back in 2023, Techland did a celebration event for Call of Juarez Gunslinger in Dying Light 2 Stay Human, which was the 10th anniversary for Call of Juarez Gunslinger since it released in 2013, and that's proof Techland do still deeply care about Call of Juarez. Also, in one of the recent interviews, Techland's Dying Light franchise director Timon Smektala brought up Call of Juarez when talking about the guns in Dying Light the Beast, because since the Dying Light games were mainly melee focused, and Timon wanted the guns to feel smooth in Dying Light the Beast, Techland had to take some inspiration and think back to when they made the Call of Juarez games, since they were all mainly guns focused. So anyways guys, are you excited for the future of Techland and the Dying Light franchise? And do you want to see an open world Call of Juarez game taking inspiration from Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption games and Ubisoft's Far Cry games? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you all enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel and ding that bell icon really hard so I can always stay within fast reach of your fingertips when new uploads arrive. ZombfectedGaming 349 over and out.